Something strange is happening in Seattle. The Seahawks don't look normal anymore. This feels like the beginning of a revolution or a total collapse. Jalen Milroe is the spark, a rookie quarterback who doesn't play by the rules of the position. He runs like a running back, throws like a gunslinger, and moves like a storm. In the preseason against the Raiders, he ripped off a 27-yard scramble that felt like a warning shot to the rest of the league. This isn't just another developmental QB. This is chaos in a jersey. Think about it. Sam Darnold has the paycheck of a starter, but not the trust. Drew Lock? Too many highs and lows to build a future on. But Milroe? He's the cheat code. Drafted late, written off early, and now fighting to break the system wide open. He's got that Justin Fields vibe, the kind of quarterback who can change the math on every play. Picture it, a defense gasping for air, thinking the play is over, and then Milroe slips away, cutting 20 yards downfield like a runaway train. That's not just a first down. That's momentum. That's belief. That's the kind of electricity that can flip a whole season upside down. The question is simple. Are the Seahawks staring at their future star, or just setting themselves up for heartbreak? Seattle fans, I want to know, should Milroe already be getting snaps over Darnold and Locke, or is it too soon to throw him into the fire? Drop your thoughts below. He's raw. He makes mistakes. He'll hold the ball too long. He'll misread a defense. And sometimes he looks like he's learning on the fly. But let's be real. What rookie quarterback doesn't? The real issue here is that Seattle doesn't have the luxury of waiting years for talent to develop. Not with this offensive line still figuring out how to play together. And here's the crazy part. Milroe doesn't just survive in the chaos. He thrives in it. He moves. He fights. He finds a way. Compared to Drew Lock, Milroe feels like a spark that could actually light this team on fire. For longtime fans, this isn't just about X's and O's. This is about identity. This is about soul. Seattle has always been at its best when it played with guts, not caution. The Legion of Boom wasn't built on safe choices. It was built on fire, swagger, and belief. And that's what Milroe feels like. A risk, a rebel, a kid who could change everything. So I'll ask you straight up, who do you trust more? A veteran who plays it safe, or a rookie who could set the field ablaze? Because if Darnold slips up even once, you know what's coming. That stadium is going to shake. The chants, the roar, the demand for Milroe. It's going to be deafening. But here's where the story takes a twist. All this quarterback chaos is opening the door to another huge development. While Milroe teases us with flashes of fire on offense, the defense is finally starting to breathe again. For months, it felt like injuries were burying this unit alive. But suddenly, hope. Rice Knight, the centerpiece of our defense, is back. After months of uncertainty, after doctors and coaches biting their nails wondering if he'd ever return, Mike McDonald finally gave the green light. Knight is cleared. Knight is back in the middle of the field. And that changes everything. He doesn't just play linebacker, he sets the tone. He hits with violence, he reads with precision, and he plays with the kind of energy that makes the entire defense walk taller. He feels like the second coming of those legendary linebackers who once defined an era in Seattle. The question now is simple. Can hope turn into results, or are we just fooling ourselves? I want to hear it from you. Do you put your trust in the fire of a rookie quarterback or the steady hands of a veteran? And defensively, does Rice Knight's return make you believe this unit can rise again? Drop your answer in the comments right now. The practice field in Seattle suddenly feels alive again. Buchanan Nusu, who many thought wouldn't be seen for months, strapped on the pads and jumped back into drills. And let me tell you, he didn't look rusty. He looked explosive. That's not just another player returning. That's a game-changing weapon that's been locked away too long, and now the Seahawks might finally be able to unleash him again. And it didn't stop there. Charles Cross, the young left tackle who protects the blind side, walked out fresh off finger surgery and went straight into full team reps. That's the kind of return that could be the difference between Sam Darnold or Jalen Milroe standing tall or getting crushed when San Francisco comes hunting in week one. But wait, more good news kept pouring in. Center Oluwaluwatimi is back in full practice, setting the foundation for the entire offensive line. And running back Kenneth Walker, he looked like his old self again, cutting, bursting, running free with zero limitations. That burst, that fearlessness, it's back. It all sounds like a wave of hope crashing into Seattle, but here's the truth fans know too well. Sometimes coming back too soon is the biggest risk of all. We've seen this story before. A player rushes back, the team leans on them too hard, and one wrong step can destroy an entire season. That fear lingers over every snap. Still, you can't help but imagine it a defense with Boy Mafe and Nusu attacking together, an offensive line with Cross holding firm, Walker slashing through defenses with no hesitation. It's the vision of the team Seattle was meant to be. But every single one of these players is walking a tightrope. One misstep, one injury setback, and the domino effect could be devastating. The optimism is real. The energy is rising. But the suspense? It's unbearable because the Seahawks' entire season might balance on the health of just a few stars. Health is finally on Seattle's side right now, but we all know in the NFL that can disappear in a heartbeat. And while the players grind it out on the field, the front office is staring at a massive decision that could shape the future of this offense. Why? Because Seattle has one quarterback too many, and the phones are already buzzing, especially from Minnesota. Here's the drama. How does a quarterback who frustrates fans with inconsistency suddenly become a trade chip? That's the story of Drew Lock. One afternoon against the Colts, he had us cheering like crazy. The rest of the season, he had us ripping our hair out. Yet somehow, that same quarterback might bring Seattle real value this preseason. Sam Darnold is set as the starter. Rookie Jalen Milroe is flashing raw talent and electricity. And then there's Locke, the odd man out, the used car on the lot that still manages to turn heads. And guess who's looking? The Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are desperate. They're leaning on rookie J.J. McCarthy, but everyone knows depending on a first-year quarterback without real backup is dangerous. Their insurance policies aren't scaring anybody. That's where John Schneider, the man who always pulls strings behind the curtain, comes in. Seattle could flip Locke into draft picks or even a useful piece for the roster. But here's the risk. Moving Locke means fast-tracking Milroe into the QB2 role. It's asking a rookie to handle complex NFL defenses before he's fully ready. On paper, it makes sense. Locke's ceiling is limited, and he's not a long-term solution. Milroe? He's a lottery ticket with the chance to cash in huge. And this isn't new for Seattle. Remember when they trusted Russell Wilson over the safe bet and Matt Flynn? That gamble changed the entire franchise. Could history repeat itself right now? The truth is, trading Locke wouldn't just be about moving a player. It would send a message that Seattle is done with safe, boring decisions, that they believe in the future, even if it's risky. And for fans, that's emotional fuel. But there's fear too. We've gambled before. And when those gambles fail, we've been left with nothing. So here we are, Drew Lock in one hand, a rookie with sky-high potential in the other. Do you play it safe, or do you push all your chips to the center of the table? Now I want to hear from you. Should Seattle deal Drew Lock while the market is hot, or keep him as insurance? Drop your take in the comments. Quarterback depth is a gamble in Seattle right now. Darnold goes down, Milroe is still raw, and Locke is already gone to Minnesota. Is that gutsy or just reckless? Messing with the QB room feels like tugging on the very heartbeat of this franchise. And yet, sometimes chaos sparks opportunity. Because while everyone's arguing about quarterbacks, a completely forgotten wide receiver is stealing the spotlight. DK Young, a guy most fans didn't even pencil into the rotation, is suddenly balling out in camp. He's not just running throwaway routes anymore. He's catching passes in red zone drills, making clutch grabs when the moment is loudest, and building this quiet, almost sneaky chemistry with Sam Darnold. Think about how disruptive that is. Seattle already has DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and now Cooper Kupp, three legit stars. But there's a void when Lockett comes off the field, because the veteran can't handle every snap anymore. And that's exactly where Young is starting to carve out his lane. Big frame, disciplined routes, a knack for being in the right place. He's making his case as the missing piece. If this sticks, it changes everything. Suddenly, Seattle isn't predictable anymore, which cost them dearly in 2024. Suddenly, Darnold has a safety valve, and when Milroe finally gets his chance, he'll have someone reliable when the play breaks down. David Moore 2.0? It's not far-fetched. The only question is whether Young can carry this momentum into real games, because if he does, even Cooper Cup benefits. Seattle could actually manage his snaps and keep him fresh for the long haul. For a team still searching for its offensive identity, the rise of an unexpected third option could be the twist that changes the season. This is the crossroads moment for Seattle. You can feel it in every practice, every roster move, every rumor that hits the wire. It's not just about one player stepping up or one veteran signing. It's about the identity of the entire team. Are the Seahawks still the franchise that leans on star names, hoping experience will cover up the cracks? Or are they finally ready to unleash the young, unproven, hungry players who are clawing for a chance to define this new era? That tension is hanging over everything. On defense, the return of Boy Mafe, Ukena Nusu, and the emergence of young corners like Nehemiah Pritchett breathe life into a unit that was absolutely broken last season. Fans see hope there, signs that maybe the defense can rediscover its bite, that maybe the Legion of Boom spirit isn't completely gone. But on offense, that's where the dilemmas get louder. Do you keep playing it safe with veterans like Cup and Lockett while risking injuries and age slowing them down? Or do you fast-track Jalen Milroe and force-feed Derek Young into the rotation, even if it means benching names that fans thought were untouchable? Each choice feels tiny when you look at it in isolation, but stack them together and suddenly you've got the blueprint of the entire 2025 Seahawks season. One path could lead to a rebirth, a team that shocks the league and makes Seattle matter again. The other, another wasted year, another what if for a franchise that hasn't truly scared anyone in a long time. And here's the cold truth. The NFL won't wait for Seattle to figure it out. You either evolve or you get swallowed alive.